The cheap-lying shrubs, grasses, and some seedling increasing in the Arctic are received taller. The conclusion comes of scientists who analyzed many decades of measurements. The information, collected through Alaska, Canada, Iceland, Scandinavia, and Russia, indicates how a heating environment is drive the changing. The crew of 180 researchers says the growth in altitude could eventually job to shove up temperature future. Company lead writer Isla Myers-Smith, of the College of Edinburgh, UK, forecasted how, on their present path, the centimeters-tall Arctic vegetation could double in amount by the end of the age. Seedling include to be enduring to prosper in the far polar or top-up mountains. The common cold and brief increasing time of year precludes trees. Instead of, the fenland scenery is inhabited by little kind how hug the land. But the Arctic is exposed fast changing. Latter many decades include seen the area expertise several of the fastest rates of heating on the Earth. It is not just how current seedling include enlarged their growth, though how is the instance, it is more than how taller kind are now intruding areas they never utilized to increase in big numbers. As in sample spring sweetgrass, that is overall in plain Europe, has now excited in the study intrigue in Iceland and Sweden wherever length-term tracking is taken. The deprofiling of factory communities is essential since it could change the way the Finland ecological system functions. Taller Arctic seedling will pitfall more than snowing about them, insulation the land of really common cold air and prevent it of chilly rather so difficult. The makes it facilitating for normally fade solid soil to thawing weather out in summer months and produce their carbon sequestration in the ambience. The would add to the heating. Taller seedling could as well impact the identical result since, by sticking out their heads over the snowing, they would this a more dark shallow, and how allows the ecological system to pitfall more than warmth of the sunshine. Though down there are yet lot uncertainties, taller Finland seedling could gas environment changing, both of in the Arctic and for the Earth as a entire, told the research's some company lead inspector, Anne Bjorkman, of the Senckenberg Biodiversity Conservation and Environment Studies Center, Germany. It is wonderful since of its scope. It incorporates more than rather than 60,000 information observational data of hundreds of sites through the Arctic and in the Europe Alps and the US Rocky Mountains. The data reaches behind via the many decades, authorizing it to securely capture actual trends. Scientists will again visit particular locations to get the identical measurements above and above once again. These measurements lid all of factory altitude and sheet region to timber thickness, semen amount, sheet chemical, and more than. Such researchers who initiate the one information collections could never include named exactly how their stability would ultimately pay away. They would fair include had the acceptance how length surveillance episode are priceless. Of the goals of our draft was to do the database openly accessible so how next researchers can ask questions how we can foresee order now each, told Dr. Myers-Smith.